All right. Up next, we have the Sebring Blue Street. Coach, can you introduce yourself and the players that you brought with you today?
Yes, sir. LeVar Scott, head football coach, Sebring High School. Outside linebacker, first one up next to me, Darian Peterson. Then I have wide receiver, Ezra Anderson, sergeant safety, Artravius Pearson. I call him Peterson. And Bauer Schmel, starting offensive line, top long snapper.
Okay. Coach, why did you decide to bring these specific players with you to represent the program today? If you can, talk briefly about each one of them from a character and athletic standpoint, and what college coaches can expect to see out of these guys when they come and visit this spring.
Well, the main reason I brought these young men because they're obviously returning starters. Obviously, they're young men that have always shown character. They've always worked, and they're the ones that I'm begging them to become the leaders of this team and this program and move us forward. And so that's why they're here today. They've all, again, have been starters for Sebring High School at some point and have helped the program be successful in games. And they're young men that, again, on and off the field, have done something that have caught myself or one of the coaches' eye to put them in a position to be leaders of this program.
Okay, and if you can, talk about each one of them individually.
Well, going to each one, Darian is a high motor guy. He's the guy that can be a difference maker for us, coming off the edge and dropping in coverage. He's one that has potential to be something special. Just got to continue to work. Ezra Anderson probably going to be one of our most explosive guys that we're going to have. Definitely, right now he's not going to be that big, but he's going to be someone that plays big. He's tough, and he has like an attitude about him. But I needed to come and show up out on the field, and the toughness that he sometimes shows, it needs to just be generated as a football player. And the next guy, Travis Pearson, started for us, and we moved him around positions, and we're actually probably may move his position this year, just because he can play multiple positions on the back end. He's one that we need to be a leader back there and get the guys lined up and be verbal and take control. And with Bauer, I can say so much about this young man. He's great in all facets. He's one of the hardest workers that I've had come through the program. If you can see where he transformed himself from when he was a little itty-bitty freshman to now, it just shows his work. And again, he's high character. He's one that, without a doubt, we hope will take this team to another level. He's not as verbal as we need him to be, and that's the challenge for him.
Okay. The off-season theme looks to have been to uphold the standard. What does that mean to those people who may not be as familiar with the standard of Sebring football since you've been the head coach there?
Well, the standard, the first year I took over, we were 4-6, and we were 2-8, and since then we have not had a losing season. We've been able to win the first district title in the school's history, and that's been a continuation since we won the first one. We won a lot of games. We put a lot of kids in college, and we mentored and changed the scope of a lot of young men's life, and that's the standard. Like, the standard is not just winning, though. I want people to not get that we're just saying, oh, the standard of winning. It's the standard of the totality of this program and what we bring to these young men, their lives, and affecting them. And just it's a standard now. There's a standard that when you come to Sebring, we're going to work. And that's definitely the first part. We're going to work, and we're going to push you to work in the classroom. And we're going to preach God, the Word of God, and we're going to challenge your spiritual life. And we're also going to try and make you better young men. We're going to build relationships with you whether you want it or not. We're going to do our best to build that relationship with you also. So that's just a standard at Sebring that, like no other, in my opinion. But again, it started from the bottom, and now here we are. And it's a standard now that we can't even complete a full schedule.
Okay. Your 2024 senior class was a group that won a lot of football games for your program, and if I'm not mistaken, the most in program history in that stretch?
Yes, sir. But the crazy thing about it is this class has the same opportunity, but it would take winning 9 games. So
okay,
we'll see. That's the challenge for them.
So you're returning 5 starters on offense and defense heading into the spring.
Yes, sir.
What has been your message to those returning players about those expectations that you have for them to uphold that standard?
Well, they all know we have to work, but they all know too that obviously there's a standard for receiving football to always maybe be in the playoff picture and winning football game. And so these young men can't go off of what the other senior class did. They've got to build their own foundation now, so to speak, and continuation of the winning part. And that's what we're trying to get through their head for them to lead. And there's other guys that aren't here that could have possibly been here too that are great leaders for us and had the potential to be. But yeah, there's no doubt these young men know. They understand.
Okay. Since I've been following the program closely these last several years, you've had at least multiple players in each class sign to play at the Division I level. Despite being in an area of the A63 that some college coaches would consider too far out the way to traditionally get to, what have you done specifically for your program to overcome that challenge and get them to want to come out and visit? And then for those who haven't visited yet, why do you feel like it's important for them to take the time out to visit Highlands County and Sebring?
Well, I think we've done a lot of things, from myself to Coach Taylor and just other coaches trying to connect, to connecting with Sonny Harper and H2 recruiting. We try and do a lot of different things to, get the coaches in. And, obviously through my time of being the coach and my brother, that we have some connections. But at the same time, Highlands County has breeded a lot of D1 kids over the years. And so, yeah, they tend to not want to come to that area until they see one or have one. And so, no doubt we have to work a whole lot harder than everyone else. But it's just through using your connection. It's through staying persistent and texting and inboxing and doing the things that we have to do to reach out to them.
Okay. I got a question for Bauer. You have a 4.6 GPA, 1320 SAT, 30 ACT. You've got the academic resume any college coach would love to look at on a transcript. Now, what about yourself athletically? Do you feel like college coaches will be able to see out of you this spring that should make them want to start recruiting you to play for their program at the next level?
I'm always going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to push myself till I can't push myself anymore. And I'll give you everything I got on the field till I ain't got it.
And then a question for the rest of the players. What are some goals that you have set for yourself this spring that you want to accomplish individually? And then what are some team goals that you hope to reach?
My individually goal is probably just to be able to fly around on the field and be that leader that we need. So I'm try to fly around and let everybody feed off my energy so we can just keep everything going.
My individual goal is to probably be the leader that the receivers need. I feel like I'm the only returning receiver that we have and starting receiver, so they're going to need a role model to look up to, so I'm going to try to play that role this year.
My individual goal is to get at least 190. My team goal is to at least get to the playoffs and have everybody in the right track.
Go back through your team goal. Yeah, explain what team goal is.
Team goal, I don't really know. I just want to have a positive season.
Team goal for me is to uphold the standard and be the most winningest class out of Sebring High School history.
Team goals, yeah, I definitely want to keep this winning streak going for the coaches, for our players. for Sebring. We've had good seasons in the past, and we'll keep it going. I want to work together with these guys and create a tight-knit community and just be a band of brothers and keep it going.
Yeah. Hey, Coach. Andy Wilmarzo, SVI Sports. Your schedule for 2024, have you guys finalized that at all? Or?
No, sir, we have not finalized the schedule. We had a late drop here a few weeks ago, and so we're still working through that process. I can tell you it's a very tough schedule. It's a schedule already built with 8 playoff teams, 2 state champ, and a state runner-up, and another Final Four. So it is going to be a gauntlet. Again, that's what some people say the winning have created, but you know, for years we were still able to play Polk County team, and you know, right now it's tough to schedule 8-6-3 teams, which you would think we all would play, except for 2. I would never want to play Lake Region and Lakeland because of the relationship with the head coaches and being former coaches under me. But other than that, we got to go a lot of places that you would think we wouldn't have to go just to get a game. And times have changed. But for years we were everybody's homecoming in the 8-6-3.
And talking to other head coaches about that, just the difficulties in scheduling nowadays. It obviously, with the expectations in the program getting better, it comes with, you know, scheduling becomes a lot more difficult. Has this been one of your more trying seasons and off seasons and trying to put together and piece that schedule together?
Yes, sir, this has been the worst. And again, I've never went into April without having a complete schedule. Usually this is done in February. And it's been hard, and there's going to be some long bus rides and a lot of financial burden, you know, and that's the thing that we're running into now when you're talking about riding 2 to 3 hours away, and you can't get a school bus until 4:30, so now you got to go commercial, and now you got to spend $4,000 just to go play a game. That's tough, and you still got to feed the kids, you know, week in and week out. That's not a good thing.
And just the environment, like you said, I mean, different times, and I think I use the in day and age, which I don't even feel like I'm old, but I'm using that a lot. And I mean, what you've seen over the off season in terms of like from Metro Suburban being scrapped, NIL being discussed, you're talking about, you know, several other rule changes within the association. Just, I mean, do you feel like this has been one of the more busier off seasons?
Without a doubt, and I mean, just trying to keep up with everything. But the thing is, everything comes up, but then nothing gets solidified, nothing gets, you know, put in black and white, so we can get an understanding and we can adapt. Like, there's no adapting because there's nothing set to figure out yet. And so with that, yeah, it's always tough, you know. And I do appreciate that they're trying to figure it out and get it right. But I think they had it right for the most part. I know a lot of people don't ask my opinion. I think Metro Suburban was good, and I think they could have moved in it, you know, maybe found a Metro champ versus a Suburban champ. I know they had another week. I just think there's things they could have tweaked. Instead, we went backwards, and you know, we went to something that was broke, and we're still trying to figure out what's going to be right. And I think they had good games. I think games were closer than they have been the past couple of years. So I don't know. I think they don't ask our opinion. They don't poll coaches. They talk to people that just look at it from a business standpoint and older people. And yeah, I can go on that one forever.
I was going to say, well, I will ask for your opinion. They do, I know a story came out by USA Today's John Santucci about the kind of discussion now being opened back up about the open division, which, you know, would take those top teams from each of those classifications and put them in a separate bracket. I mean, being a top program in your specific area and possibly being placed in an open division bracket, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm still a little kind of confused on the open deal, and then you just wonder, does that now become, I wouldn't say a popularity, but just a traditional program thing, and then what about an up and coming? So I just feel like, yeah, some way people can get lost out for what they, you know, what they accomplished in that 1 year. So I don't know what's perfect yet. I just felt like Metro Suburban was getting us there, you know, and yeah, we got a way to go though. I really feel like, you know, this what we just did was not the answer.
And the talks of NIL being out there, I mean, I know for Highlands County it may not be, you know, something that is.
Yeah, without a doubt. I don't know, at first when I first heard about it, I felt like I was probably going to put in a letter of resignation, because this is not where, you know, I'm going. I felt like college kids, without a doubt, needed to be financially compensated. When you start putting it in high school and now it becomes a business, I'm still kind of a little leery on that, figuring out how do you even police any of that, how does that even work? And without a doubt, we know that that would create an advantage for the bigger financially, you know, programs. You know, those that are in the bigger cities, how would the rural and, you know, smaller areas even compete with that? We wouldn't.
Oh, I got it.
Okay. Final question before we wrap up. College transfer portal has been a big topic of conversation since it's been implemented.
Yes, sir.
Because of the effect it has had on high school football recruiting. What has been your message to your players about how to navigate this new era of college recruiting?
Well, for us, it's just, we kind of go about it the same way, other than we tried the method of maybe committing early, and for one of my players in particular, that didn't work. So we're still trying to figure this thing out, because college coaches said, hey, don't play the game, you have something, commit early, go ahead and get it out of the way. We had a kid do it, that didn't work, and we had another kid that he got something really good late. So we don't have a perfect answer. We're just telling our kids to work hard as you can, take care of your grades academically, so that makes you more marketable and that puts you to the forefront. And without a doubt, we haven't had many 5-stars come through Highlands County or Sebring, but those are the kids that without a doubt it's going to be easy. It's going to be, you know, who they come for. And then after that, it's take what you can take, get what you can get, and if you don't belong there, then you'll show that and you'll be able to transfer. You know, I really believe in putting 10 toes down and, you know, making the most of the college situation, but the game is changing, you know, and the business is changing. So Coach over there said it best: if you can go to an NAIA school, prove that you don't belong there, show that, and they'll find you, and you'll be in the portal, and you'll get that opportunity. So I'm telling the kids now, be open to any and everything. You got to be open to it, and that should have been the way anyway. Before that, and that was our message. But now you can do that, but now you're gonna go in with 5 toes down and 5 out the door, thinking if I can just ball out, I'm going. So I don't like that method part of it, but that's kind of the game.
Do you have any final words you'd like to leave fans or college coaches and what they can look out for from your program this upcoming spring?
Well, I think just like always, they can come and find kids that are gritty, they're gonna work hard, that understand the college regimen, from a working out standpoint to how we just try and do everything like a college. And so they're gonna get kids that are college ready. We've had a good amount of kids that they make it through and they don't transfer, they graduate, and we've had some that obviously they might have transferred and things like that. So Sebring has produced a lot of kids over the last 10 years in college. I think our number is close to 70 to 80 that have touched the campus and have signed the ink on paper. And so keep coming. We have guys at all different levels. And they're going to know the work, and they're going to be great kids too. And yes, 863, we're on the bottom of it. But come on down.
All right. Thank you for coming, Coach.